Hello, hello, and welcome to Force of Will Grand Prix Berlin. My name is Ignaz, and I'm joined by
Well,
Ludwig today.
yeah,
How are you
welcome.
doing?
I'm fine, and you?
Yeah, I'm super excited
Yeah, it's
for this tournament,
so.
and yeah, let's get right into the action.
Yeah. Also, we have many different countries here. So we have American player, Italian players. Very much excitement.
Yeah, super stoked. This will be a great tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And so for our first match, we
We
got Benjamin Tanner against Christian
Cicero.
Cesaro. And what are they playing?
The Benjamin Tanner is playing in IU, and Christian Cesaro is playing Yggdrasil, the Malefic World Tree.
Yeah, so what I see from these two lists seems that Benjamin is playing the more aggressive version of RU,
Yeah,
and yeah, Christian is
the more or less the normal control build with some
Yeah.
nice text.
yeah,
And I think it's interesting to see some one-offs, because the normal one is with Yggdrasil you play all playset so that you get get to draw the cards you need, and if you get damaged, you they get away in a removed area. So normally you get playsets, but he have Alice World of Madness as one off, or the Grim True King. Yeah,
yeah.
interesting choice.
So here what we see for the first play, we see a nameless mist. So Benjamin has to reveal his hand. Looks pretty
Spell
interesting.
heavy.
Yeah, just one soul for now.
Yeah,
Nothing
that's
really
bad
exciting.
for Tanner, because Ayu is trying to get as many souls in the hand as possible
Yeah.
to win the game with one or at least two attacks.
Yeah,
But now he has only one, so he need to get into them,
yeah.
to get them to hand.
And then that's, I think, why Christian is choosing to let Benjamin discard his counter spell, and because I think he does not really care about his removal or this one-off counter spell that he knows about now and can really easily play around it.
Of course, it's a good choice, because with Memoria Summon you can look at the top 3 cards and choose one, so you can get more souls in hand.
Yeah,
And
it
with
filters
that
it pretty well.
Yeah, and with that is it's a way, and so he need to draw the normal way, because in RU you can only have one card each in the deck, so
Yeah,
you only have
that's
one way to filter, so you need the other draw spells in your hand.
Yeah, so nothing from Benjamin, not really surprisingly. His hand didn't look quite exciting, and now another nameless mist.
So
And
now
I think
he
drew
souls.
another soul.
And the best option maybe Otherworld Dreams, I think.
No, I think he does not really care about the other dreams. Just wants to deny Benjamin from as many resources as possible. So I think the spell he chose was a good choice.
So with that spell he get a spell from the grave back to hand, so that if he get the Memoria Summon back, he can filter through his deck.
Yeah.
And the Malefic World Tree isn't affected that much by counter spells, because you can cheat in with Yggdrasil, Rezard, or Machina, or other big creatures that can hit with good effects.
Yeah,
so that he can't counter with Otherworld Dreams.
So yeah, this Benjamin's hand not really exciting.
The first spell from his side.
What is it? I think
you can tap it and then produce any color for spells. So you can it's like the IU stone for all spells.
And I really like this dreams from Christian here, because what he saw in his hand with the nameless mist here,
he knew good answer.
Yeah, that there's nothing exciting, but I think he got to play bird spell.
Yeah, so but that's not the best way for Tanner, because now Cesaro has a little bit of toolbox to work with Yggdrasil, and that's the best option. and also it gets
He
Machina
get the
back,
Machina.
Resart, 2 good creatures.
Yeah, he
could
got pretty good stuff there.
Yeah. Also he can get Resart and Machina back with Malefic World Tree, so that they are uncountable
Yeah.
because of the take place in effect with Yggdrasil, and that's not the best way for Tana.
Yeah. So yeah, nothing pretty exciting here for now, but
it looks like control build against another control build, but IU isn't a control build. IU is the aggro version, and so it's one-sided.
Yeah. So now see a butterfly for x equal 2.
Yeah.
Or 1.
But
so we'll search out something for 2.
What they missed, they should count the dice to 1, because the stone need to produce 1 white to get one counter away.
Yeah. So you will get an up to. Not
I'm
in
not sure.
my opinion, not pretty exciting against.
I don't think that's the best option.
They don't play that many resonators.
My personal opinion was True Shell Barrier is the better option, because at the moment it doesn't even do something much, because it's affected with no shield breaking. It's only affected resonators.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you get the 8 stones or get Dark Alice out, you can't activate the abilities. So
yes, you completely deny all the effects from IU, and now we see
the judgment.
Energize. I think he used Energize to do
Energize
flip.
at 1.
And
so he
searches us.
He gets a samurai to hand. So if you discard it, he gets pierce damage, or he can do pierce damage. And then
so I wonder if we will see using Benjamin using the God's art for a pony, but
it looks like he passes.
Not to
he passes.
Do it.
The problem against Yggdrasil is also you can't finish with a normal IU build or normal IU hand, because he has, instead of 40 life, 60 main deck cards.
Yeah, so he has around 50
life, 45 to 50 life in the way, because for every 100 damage Cesaro takes, he banishes the top card from the removed area. So he needs 2 to 3 attacks.
Yeah, and what we knew from his hand, he didn't really have that many souls.
3 souls, I know.
Yeah, we know about 3 souls, so that's not a lot. And so now we see
Cesaro, coming Super of Maddening Power.
Yeah.
So if he goes through, he can search a 1-off Darkness spell.
Yeah, but we know about the
I think if
dreams in Benjamin's hand.
Yeah.
So
but he
would be reasonable to counter it.
It looks like he let him search.
Yeah, he let it resolve.
He don't want to counter it. Maybe over the better spell like Final Battle or...
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna see here.
Yeah, Dark Sword Excalibur doesn't do...
No, he will get another Nameless Mist.
Nameless Mist, yeah, okay. That's also a good option to discarding...
To get another look on the hand. Look what's going on.
So that he counts how many souls he has.
Yeah.
So that he can think about the options Tana have, and also how much damage he could do.
He already has the Final Battle in hand, because it's a 4-off, so
very possible.
So it's very likely to draw it.
Now he counters. Now
that's what I thought, because the Nameless Mist, in my opinion, would most likely take
the game away from Tana.
The dream away. Yeah, that's true. So he can push through a spell he really wants to resolve.
That's a good way for Cesaro to bait out the counter. So if the other spells so now he counting the deck
already.
It's look like Tana tries to OTK him.
Yeah, well, I don't think that will be
I
possible.
doubt it.
I think you.
Maybe. He has 3 souls in hand, so maybe he draw the 4th. It's 2000 power plus, so 30,000 for Ayu. And maybe with God's Art Force printing Flame Horse or another soul, where it's 35.
Yeah, but I
So
don't think that it is already enough. I really believe that he needs 2 attacks at least
he
to
has
push through the whole deck.
13 cards on field, but I don't know the amount of hand cards he has. It looked like 3 or 4, so 17. That's 43 other cards, so it doesn't. He
So
discards the cat to use Ayu's ability to get flying and +5/+5.
yeah. So Christian can't block with his resonators.
So and
So there will be no
Tanner is
blocks.
now attacking with 15 power.
Yeah.
So
Quite some good cards.
Yeah, Ala
So
Resonat.
Faria discarded. Usually pretty good.
Yeah, a good amount of cards for Tanner, but also for Cesaro, because Ala is now gone in that removed area, so he can play it with Yggdrasil's ability, but also a second Machina.
Yeah.
Also a good card in his build is Release, so if you get a banished card in hand and then draw a card, so that's also gone.
Yeah. Quite some few like these toolbox cards.
Yeah.
In the similar way.
Important attack cards to try to get the cards you need.
So now you're going in for some damage.
So
yeah, 1,200 life gone away. That's not that of a fast clock.
But it's also a constant clock.
Yeah,
if
true.
Tanner don't kill it, I think Cesaro has in the battle the better position, because Tanner only has 40 life and Cesaro has X amount of deck cards to remove instead of damage. So that's in all, Cesaro has a better or a bigger damage life count as Tanner.
Yeah. So yeah, what I see from the deck list now, that Christian does play the 4 Amaterasu's Foresight in the main board.
That's
so
one of the best options against Ayu.
That's really good. Just buys so much time.
Yeah. And also other good spells like Kaguya's Butterfly to cheat in cards from deck, spells, resonators or enchantments, so that you can, for example, like Abdul or Neo Shadow Barrier to get them in. So that's the reason why he placed like Alice Word of Madness or Neo Shadow Barrier not as playset, so as 1 or 2 off. Also because he can cheat it in with the spell. Yeah.
Also there's a second Faria in his deck. You already milled or exiled one.
I think one is
already exiled. So if he has a Moonwind Butterfly, that's also a pretty good option.
Yeah.
Just
Faria
completing,
denying Cesaro get out Faria, it's very, very bad for Tanner.
Yeah.
Because Faria negated the first damage on the player and on Faria itself.
Yeah, so it's pretty hard to kill with any attacks or just completely shutting down.
Yeah. Also, Ayu didn't have that much resonators with you can trade with a 9/9 body.
Yeah,
the most are aggro creatures with 6/6 or less.
Yeah, like Sylvia or Rachel, just not that big of the bodies. Yeah. To really trade off, and that's what I think he. So we see the Amaterasu's Foresight from Christian.
Yeah,
buying some time.
Very good. So that's a 0 turn or a minus for Tanner because discarding.
Yeah,
so he lost
discarded one soul. Yeah, it's true.
And Cesaro and Ayu is tapped, so he can't block. And with Amaterasu's Foresight, Cesaro get no damage, so he can attack next turn with 2/6/6 again for more damage.
Yeah.
So the first resonator on Tanner's field, if it gets through.
Yeah.
No
results.
Yeah.
Because
so
why would you not? Abdul counters the enter the battlefield trigger.
Yeah.
So not really much. It's just a 2/2 body that
Yeah.
can trade off anything
Yeah, with the
from the
4
board.
you can banish it to deal 400 damage on any resonator.
Yeah, so
That's
I
not
think
a
he doesn't
big amount.
doesn't really care about
Yeah.
that.
Also, if he has a cheap removal in hand like Endless Night, Dark Sword Excalibur or other stuff, he can get rid of Mikesh, so that he can attack with the others, or Mikesh is just blocking and get
Yeah,
out
and
of game.
that's what we see here. Just
The normal block and
jumping
then-
the Abdul,
Yeah.
saving some life.
So
Other
that's
600 damage
22.
will get through.
Yeah.
So yeah, now
That's,
he has a 2-turn clock.
more or less.
Ooh, and the
Or
Reset. That's a really good.
That's a good
That's
play.
a really good one. So
Reset
now
get
I believe it's a 1-turn clock.
if
It doesn't.
if
you don't
Tana
know
didn't do
really.
anything next turn, it could be over because Reset gets +1/+1 for each banished resonator or for each exiled resonator. So you see it gets how much? 8 resonators, so it's a 13/13.
And that's lethal on board. So Tana
it's 25 and
has
Tana has only 22 left.
So he has to do something. I believe he just can't attack now, because I don't think that he has enough souls
he have
in
discarded
hand.
2,
He
3.
discarded 2.
One I think 1 is left in his hand. I'm not sure. Maybe he draw 1 more or 2 more.
One we know about for sure.
Yeah.
And he has
One
the
it's-
God's Art
it's the
left.
Samurai with the
Yeah.
pierce damage.
Yeah, that's true.
But now he has also got his God's Art. But the problem is he God's Art and don't finish. It could be his last card in the deck. So if Cesaro say end of turn and you draw and Tana can't draw a card, he lost. So that's
And we will see an attack here. Pretty interesting, in my opinion.
Tana attacked with Ayu and blocked by Rezat.
Yeah.
And he plays Shayla's Return to bounce it back to hand.
Yeah.
So if that goes through, Tana has 1 more turn to live.
And it will get through. So that's really good for him.
That's a good play, and also it deals 15 damage, only 10 damage because he don't discard 10 more damage. But 2 Endless Night MC,
Another Foresight discarded.
Foresight to Abdul.
And a Moonbeam Butterfly, but still the second Faria is still in the deck.
Should be
So that's pretty
or
good.
maybe in the hand.
Yeah,
We don't know.
that's true.
But if it is in the hand, I'm curious about that he didn't play it because Faria in this matchup is so insane.
Yeah.
So much power. 9/9 for 4 and prevents the first damage on the player and the resonator. So another 600 damage to him.
Yeah. So just putting Benjamin down to 1,000 life, I think.
1,000.
So
all get in. Yeah, 1,000. Okay. So also he didn't tap the Yggdrasil Malefic World Tree for stone, so eventually he could cheat in some resonators with his ability.
he has an Arla.
I
for
think
sure
1 or 2 Ala,
in his
1 Rezat,
exile.
2 Machina.
Yeah,
So
I think the most likely thing that will happen is just that we
It's
see an
Rezat.
Arla.
I don't think so, Rezat, because Ala can only shoot at resonators. So
Yeah, but Arla is a flying blocker. That's what I think here, because
that's too.
if
But
Benjamin discards a soul, I think that he will get an Arla to prevent some damage.
That's if we know the exact amount of deck Cesaro had left, so then we could be more clear. Sprinting Flamehouse, okay. So he gets Sprinting
before he
Flamehouse
untaps, he
before
just
the
buffs.
untaps to get it to buff.
Yeah. So that's a pretty good sign that he will try to finish Christian off this turn. But we
So
will
maybe
see an Amaterasu's Foresight before Benjamin untaps to just play around another counterspell, I think.
So that's
And now, if Benjamin does not kill one of these 3 resonators Christian has, or
he should have. Did he have a 1 removal spell? Because he can't attack resonators, because also Ayu didn't deal damage to them.
Yeah.
So It doesn't look like he have a big amount of removal spells he could use. It looked like a pretty one-sided. He get a whole mountain pick to get a blocker,
Yeah.
so that he can live maybe a turn longer.
Yeah. Now Christian chooses to use the ability of Yggdrasil.
To get
Something
another
out.
resonator that he can attack in his turn, because the summoning sickness is left in the recovery phase or in the draw phase of Cesaro.
And there will be another reset, so another pretty huge body.
Yeah. Also, you see on one reset the 11 power plus, so it's also on the reset without the dice.
Yeah.
So it's a big amount of damage, and I think Tanner has lost at this moment of the game.
Yeah, most likely just
Also,
will attack with his two resets.
Gilapis has precision, and Gilapis gets +2 buff because the resets are dark.
Yeah.
And with the ability Will of Despair resonators, so that he get a buff. And also with the target attack, he could kill the pig. That Ayu could only block one reset, and then with the reset with 16 power get through. So
But
at the moment,
but I
if
think the attack
optimal-
gone through, so Benjamin
looks
should
like,
be at 2 life now.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's 400 because they didn't count the +2 buff from the Will of Despair.
so he should be
resonators.
at 200 life now.
So he need to block, but that's impossible. He only has he has 3 attackers and 2 blockers, but 1 will open. So maybe he gets some good spells to use, because Ayu Stone is a more or less 5-color stone if you control Ayu, so he could use any will to kill something, and has 2 blockers, so he need to get rid of 1 resonator.
Otherwise he's just dead here.
Yeah. Otherwise the game is finished, and Christians are game 1. Yeah.
So we will see
Yeah.
Benjamin using the
accepted
God's
the
art.
defeat.
No, he uses
God's art.
I think he uses the God's art, but
he used the God's art for.
yeah.
That's a good pick. Yeah, maybe he
to
survives
get
with
to
this
get
run. Yeah.
the removal spell.
That's.
So maybe he bought himself another turn,
Yeah, I think
but
so.
we don't think we don't know what Christian has in hand. If he has a counter, that's just game.
Yeah.
I think he does.
If the spell didn't get through, he lost.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's impressive God's Art. It's very, very good.
Yeah, that was a good choice.
And also, it isn't a complete deck. It's about 6, 10, 12
Yeah.
cards.
He
So
didn't
he had
lose that much.
Yeah.
So now we will see
on the result
being used. And yeah, there's a counter, so
that's heavy.
I think that's game over.
That should be the game.
Yeah, he's thinking about it, but
Yeah, Tanner is thinking. Yeah, it guns.
it's countered, but
True Blade.
will
Yeah, but
do
that
500
didn't
damage,
do
but
much.
that
and
doesn't
then
do
the
anything.
and then the recovered result attacks, and then it's game 1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so that was
The first game
Game
goes to
1.
Cesaro. And now what they could side in. On Cesaro's side, there are not that much, because
but
he didn't have that much about J Ruler excessive decks. So
yeah, but I
I
think his main board is pretty solid overall. Just these 2 Farias.
yeah,
He can
I
get
think
a really good foresight. So just
against Ayu it looks
yeah,
like very
this
impressive. 2 Faria, 4 Materasus, 4 Sight, and so on. That's really good cards.
Yeah.
Also 2 Neo Shadow Barriers that if he counts or if he breaks the 8 stones, so that Ayu can't discard the souls. So that's very impressive. It's a good deck or tech choice for Cesaro. Did Tanner have something?
Benjamin's side
So
don't really.
Dawn of Earth is maybe a card against him, because if Malefic World Tree tries to cheat in some resonators, he could Dawn of Earth it to exile it again. Or Shackles of Ice is one of the best options. Shackles of Ice.
And maybe he will bring in the final breeze just to have
one more counter.
Another counter.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
but of course we will see Shackles of Ice and Dawn of Earth, because Shackles of Ice says that rulers can't activate abilities, so he can't tap.
So just denying the one toolbox option for Christian.
So more or less, if he gets a turn 1, turn 2, or at least turn 3, the toolbox of Yggdrasil will shut down unless it goes away.
Yeah,
that's maybe.
Yeah, not that much of exciting stuff here.
But also, eventually, Cesaro knew or could knew that Tana plays Shackles of Ice, so that he could side in his 2 Grims. That if he enters the battlefield, destroy 1 addition, and if you destroy it, search the deck for a Fairy Tail Resonator. So he could get out Dark, his 2 Dark Capian, and I don't think he has other.
The rest of the deck seems fine.
Yeah, I think he get it in because he knew Tana is playing the blue.
Yeah, I think he will maybe get 1 because 1 is already in the main board.
That could be possible.
Maybe a second one just to
or
be prepared.
He don't. Maybe he sided, and because of the 4 Kaguya's movie butterfly, he could cheat it out from the deck. So, but because of the consistent, he may try to get 1 in, so that he have 2 in deck. And that's the main reason. If Tana gets out for Christian, the Shackles, Cesaro is really needing to get the Grim out, that he kill it, but instead his removed area he can't play with it. It's just for the buff of Result or for the release spell that could get 1 out of the banished zone. Yeah, that's. We will see what they sided in. But I think that also they too didn't have that impressive sideboard against each other. It looks like that Cesaro's sideboard is mainly against Pharaoh and other black control decks because of Dark Seal or other spells. Other Spell of Madness, for example, kills all the 1/1 resonators or the 1/1 tokens from Pharaoh.
So good against Pharaoh.
As he has also he has 1 in main. So if he get against it, they get instant killed if the buff isn't affected, and so they only get 100 because Alice Word of Madness is dealing -2/-2 on all resonators on the field. So also Cesaro's, but because of that he don't need that much on his resonators, because Rezard, for example, buffs with the removed area.
Yeah, all his resonators just big enough to survive that -2/-2. So he doesn't
also
really care about it.
And also with the Ala that can pay 200 life to deal 200 damage to a resonator is better with Alice Word of Madness, because you don't need to pay 200 more.
Yeah.
So you have
saving
Alice
some
Word of
life can be pretty important.
For all final battle. If he needs to use final battle, that's very important to have all that life he could have, because he should pay 2 or 3 maybe times final battle if he can't get rid of Ayu.
Yeah. So let's see how the second game will go.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, this matchup is pretty good for Dark Tree, especially if you see this list. Just so much hate against Ayu.
Yeah, that's impressive. Yeah. That's a really good. I think it's one of the consistent Yggdrasil builds, because you have outs against Pharaoh, you have against Ayu, and also now one of the more completed builds, Lumia Command. So that also got some tech cards against it because of Endless Night. You can destroy one resonator and deal other 200 damage.
Yeah.
So with Alice Well of Madness out, you get minus 400 on death side.
Yeah.
Or other good spells, Nameless Mist. You can discard Lumia's Command and so on.
So I already saw some pretty good cards in Christian's hand. Just another Foresight, Kagura's Moonbeam Butterfly, and a counter spell. So the hand looks pretty solid.
Yeah, one of the best hands he could have.
Yeah.
So
And another Nameless Mist. So we will already get a look at Benjamin's hand, what he
there's
kept.
Severing Winds for a spell, Winds of Vitality, a Soul, Unending Hatred, and Purpur, Lightning Beam. Maybe Severing Winds or Unending Hatred, I think, because Unending Hate, I think so. Because with this spell he could look at Cesaro's hand and discard one card of his choice.
Yeah.
That's very good. And if as a control player you don't want to get rid of your hand cards or reveal what you have on hand, so you want your complete hand. So that's
and I think the rest of the spells are not pretty, just a buff spell to counter
not
spells.
very
I
important
think
against
just
the stack.
just doesn't really care about them being in Benjamin's hand.
Yeah. That's one blue redstone. So if Benjamin has the Shackles of Ice, it would be very impressive. But we don't see it in the discard. But he also got a draw phase that maybe.
Yeah, but he does not seem like he drew it. Or would most likely played it.
Wow, that's very good. Another resonator. Also don't get the draw or the filter from Mikesh if Tana plays it.
He gets it,
and
just early body to get in some damage.
To get hits so that he can damage.
Start pressuring Benjamin's life total.
I think it's one of the best Darkness resonators at the moment in New Frontiers.
Yeah, for sure. Just
it's very
so good against so many things. Now we see
Deadly Fire to
just
deal 600 damage to him so that he got rid of it.
Yeah.
So the third stone and the optimal stones for Cesaro is to get 1 light, darkness and 2 green black, so that he have all colors in his deck available.
Yeah.
That's very good.
So I think we will see Moonbeam Butterfly. Most likely we'll get another Abdul.
Yeah, I think so, but I'm not sure. Maybe other good stuffs that we don't know, that he could side in or think about it between the game.
Yeah.
So that in game 1 he see Neo Shadow Barrier is very good, I need it, and then he may get it in, or an Abdul. It's Heavenly Efoi, okay. So that's resonators with flying can't attack him, and if a flying resonator, flying J-Ruler attack, it stays tapped. So if he attack with RU, it's so like a two turn tapped. So Cesaro get 1 turn more to play some things or to attack directly. So that's a very big pressure for Tana.
I personally don't really understand why he played it, because I think you just do not have to discard a soul to RU before you attack. Just so you can attack with RU. Get around the.
But if I'm not 100% sure, but I think if RU attacks with or without flying, because of the Heavenly Efoi, it stays tapped. So that
would be pretty good. Just buying some more time.
Yeah, and also it's a 1000 death. That's okay.
Yeah.
That could survive some other glow drop resonators.
So we'll see another turn 3 judgment here from Benjamin.
Yeah.
Just searching out his soul.
Yeah, I'm interested in which one he choose. Maybe the dragon, because the dragon is it's also the samurai to get pierce damage. Same as last turn. The same as last game.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And what we see, just like last game, he does not want to use
We didn't
the
see the
pony
discard from it.
to attack right away. Didn't use
He
his
don't.
energize this time. Save
So another stone.
some mana.
That's maybe from sorry, another nameless mist. Okay. That so he could buff his heavenly efoi to get +1/+1 on it. Yeah, that's whoa! What a big amount of souls. 4 souls in hand actually.
Yeah,
that's heavy.
that's pretty good.
Yeah. Also the dragon that I thought he could search out, but he has it in hand.
Yeah.
You don't need to search for it.
So he will get rid of a counter spell.
Yeah. That hand. If it's this hand from Tanner is insane against all other decks except Malefic World Tree, because you don't have spells or resonators against flying, so he could fly with 30,000 direct in damage. So that would be a huge amount of damage.
So I think already Benjamin is in a really bad position. We know that Christian has a foresight in hand, so just buying more time, and I think this will shape out pretty much like last game, just buying some time in the early game, getting to his resonators. So yeah, that's what we see. We'll use Ayu for a stone. Yeah.
It's also interesting that you don't want to attack just to tap for stone. That's not a common try or common use of Ayu. Normally you try to attack each turn to deal that much damage much damage. And so he only taps because if he attacks it stays tapped.
Just will do nothing.
Try
Go
it.
to discard.
No,
I think he just went to discard, discarded there.
Too much cards in hand. So 2 white stones. He means 2 possible stones for foresight.
And the Faria, that's a really good one. So now he's in a really, really bad spot. If he doesn't get rid of this Faria, just don't see a way to him winning this game.
This resonator is so impressive against Ayu because you don't get damage.
Yeah, and I really liked what Christian did here, because last turn he had already 4 stones, but had chosen not to play the Faria.
Yeah.
Because I think he uses the Nameless Mist and just to see, is it clear for me to play this Faria? Does he have a removal spell in hand?
Yeah.
And even if he has one, I think he just have 1 green mana left. So most likely he has another counter spell in hand. So yeah, I think Benjamin is in a really bad spot here.
He also deal 600 damage before recovery to the Heavenly Efoi with Purple Beam.
Yeah.
And now he pays
another 400 damage. So 100 damage missing to kill it.
I'm interested in how he deal the 100 damage more. Then if it gone, he could be attacked with the Ayu, or he could be better with the Ayu at the moment, because Faria and the Heavenly Efoi pressures very much against Tana.
Yeah.
If he can't get rid of Faria and Christian could be built up some board, it's a loss for Tana, because Faria is so insane against the Ayu.
Yeah, and I think he just really needs the stones, because I think the only possible way I could think of Benjamin winning this game is just casting his souls, which is really sad. Yes, and that's what we see. First soul being cast
Mystic
here.
Dragon.
Yeah,
very
and
good.
I think he has used his energize because the dragon costs 4. He used the 1 mana to deal 400 damage to the.
I'm not sure. If I'm not.
No,
because of the Memorias.
He gets another red mana.
Memoria, he get 1 red mana, so
that's
he
true.
could tap 3 stones for it. Yeah, to the burn from the heavily.
Yeah.
That's
So it seems like it resolved.
in the
Just-
more rounds. It shows impressive. The nameless missed 1/1 counter on FoW because he didn't die.
Yeah,
Actually.
that was really good.
That's
Oh yeah, but Christian doesn't really care about this dragon
yeah.
because the dragon can attack. So
It looks like blood ritual, but I'm not sure. Or it's a promo version of a card, maybe. I'm not sure what. He reads IO, maybe final battle. It looks like. It looks like an Italian promo that I didn't see before.
oh yeah, that's possible.
I think so because Tanner is reading his card and trying to survive it.
Yeah. So he uses the energize.
He bounces his dragon back. He
That's
bounces his
pretty
on dragon to
interesting.
hand. That he didn't die. Yeah, it really looks like a final battle. Yeah, final battle that
Oh yeah, okay.
you
Yeah.
get killed. And so Faria can attack. But also his other creature could attack from 100.
So pretty interesting that Benjamin did not just use. Oh no, the dragon
Just
comes back right away, right? Yeah, yeah.
in
So
in,
that's
in the end phase, so the damage is stored, the minus is still on board,
oh yeah,
so
it's
it's
true.
killed
So
anyway.
yeah, so he just wants that his dragon survives.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very good.
But yeah, like I said, I really don't see Benjamin winning this game against
Yeah.
that much of a board, and just
One of the reasons is he didn't have that much destruction spells or burn spells at the moment, so he only have one final battle against the 4 from Cesaro.
yeah.
From Christian. That's very impressive. So yeah, I don't think that Tana could win the
Yeah,
second game
Just
also.
playing a Mikesh, looking for really hard looking for answers
Yeah,
against this Faria.
yeah. He could do judgment, but that didn't do anything. Yeah,
Yeah, but
he did judgment
Yeah.
so that he could get his cards back in hand, so that he could thinner his deck from getting out the souls.
Yeah.
That he really tries to get the answers. But on that, personally I would play at first the judgment to get out the soul and then filter with Mikesh because
Yeah,
you
that's
filtered
true,
one
yeah.
card less
Yeah.
or one useless card less. So that would be a better play. But at now Turner is like against the wall, so he tries to stabilize his board.
Yeah, and he really needs to win this because
Yeah.
if not, just losing this round, losing this match.
Yeah.
So yeah, Christian can just play this really slow. I think the
Yeah.
late game is much better off.
Yeah.
Dark
Yeah.
Tree is much better.
Of course. So also you get, also Tanner is out-tapped, so he could build up some resonators every turn to get a big wall of creatures to
Yeah.
attack with. Some like Gilab is a super nomatic power last turn, or Abdul.
Yeah.
It looks like, yeah, he
Just
taps. He only tapped for stone and then
passes the
end the
turn
turn.
back to Benjamin.
Yeah.
So and now Christian already has 7 stones, so he just one stone away
Yeah.
from the near barrier of
Yeah.
shadows being active to just completely shut down
Yeah.
IU
Yeah.
from doing
If you
anything.
get out next turn with 8 stones, Neo Shadow Barrier, it's a complete lock on Ayu.
Yeah.
So also he couldn't sack his Mikesh because it's an activated ability to sack it and deal 400 damage.
Yeah.
So that's also a good. And also if Ayu attack Faria, he could bounce Mikesh, or he could banish Mikesh to deal 400 damage to Faria. That would be negated because of the effect of Faria, and then get the damage through
Yeah.
from Ayu. Oh, very good.
His removal.
I use sword strike.
I don't really understand why he's choosing to kill the island. But yeah, we'll see
Yeah, but it's
dreams
negated
being
by
used
Otherworld Dreams. That's
by Christian.
so. Did he have follow-up play? No, it doesn't look
Doesn't
like
seem
that.
like
No, he don't have. So, did he pass the turn, or is he playing something?
Just thinking
He
about
just
maybe.
thinks.
I think now he passed
Yeah,
the turn, so it did
passes.
not call a stone.
Don't call a
Really,
stone,
really
don't
want
do
to have
anything.
this is the blocker against, so Faria cannot attack.
Yeah. That's the 8 stone. So now if Neosh Barrier of Shadows comes out, its seal is broken.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting. And also
He just passes the turn, so
yeah,
does not seem
it
to
looks
have
like no one has a really good answer against the other.
Yeah, just
so
stalling out the board.
Yeah.
But in stalling out the board, I really think that Christian is in a much better position.
Yeah, because of the good spells, the good resonators, and so on. And also got some removal spells in it to kill all the blockers from Benjamin.
Yeah.
And also get big creatures out, like Gillapis is very good if you get more creatures out, because he buff it. If you have 2 Gillapis Usurper of Maddening Power, you get 2/8/8.
Yeah.
That's very impressive.
Just reading.
Yeah.
Card.
Wir sind raus. Wir hören uns nicht mehr. But at the moment he only play 1 resonator passes, 1 resonator pass.
Yeah.
Not very impressive. So maybe Malefic World Tree gets some resonators out that he could attack or deal that much damage.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing that Christian is missing here, that because he has 0 cards in his removed area, so just the tree doesn't do anything right now.
It only taps for stones and hoping to get some damage so that he could use it. So it's another Abdul. It's 1 more resonator to attack with.
Yeah.
So that's not bad for Christian. Yeah, but Tana taps for stone. Tana taps final battle. Okay. With 31
so yeah, I think
life
he will
left.
just pay 18 life to get rid of the Faria.
Or maybe 22 to kill also the heavenly.
Yeah, that's
or
true.
he pays, for example, 18 and tap more stones that he could kill
it does not seem like they're already writing down the life, so I think
optimal choice is 18 life, so that he kill Faria and Abdul. But maybe there's a counter on Christian's side. We know he have 8 counters in main board, and that they're Soaring Winds hardcast.
Yeah.
That's it. So if
Tana will use his own Soaring Winds that we know about.
That's impressive.
I think Christian. No, he did not forget. He has a second Soaring Wind.
The 3rd Soaring Winds in the chain, so that the Soaring Winds from Christian negates the Soaring Winds of Tana, so that he could negate the final battle.
Yeah.
And now he has paid 18 life. That's a very amount of damage that he get now. He only has 13 life. That's not that huge amount of damage to get.
And so he just used his second counter, or I think his last counter. He has used his final battle. We know from you only have 1-offs in each deck.
Yeah. So he really needs Ala for flying to get some damage in, because at the moment the amounts on resonators and chain rulers are the same, 3/3.
Yeah.
But Christian has only 2 that could effectively attack. So it's 2 to 3 counts.
And now we see the other that you just mentioned.
Yeah, that's
putting
very good.
Now starting
very good card
really
against
to put
him.
some pressure.
So that's
on.
a 2-time clock.
So now we saw Benjamin chose to pay 22 life, like you mentioned, to also get rid of all resonators
on the side. So it's now a 2-time clock. So if Ala flies away and get 700 damage and can't attack the next turn, that's very impressive. So maybe we see the end of the game in 1 or 2 turns.
Yeah.
So that's a block.
Yeah, but I don't think that
is Flutz. Yeah, it gets the seal broken also on Floyd's Water Dragon.
Yeah, but I
because
think
it's seal 5.
Yeah. I think Christian wants to shoot down Water Dragon with Ala to get in these 600 damage. Yeah, that's what we see.
One time, one pay that he get 200 damage. So that's good.
Christian's down to 1,200 life. Doesn't really matter. Got in these 600 damage, and now
that's I think
3 lethal threats on board.
Draw, okay, yeah. That's he end the turn with no other attack.
So Benjamin really needs to play a third blocker here, because otherwise
he killed complete. He lost 800 life to kill complete the Floyd's Water Dragon to deal the 600 damage.
So
that the next turn Ala could attack and then finish the game off. So he needs to get away from or to get rid of Ala. So if
otherwise I think he's dead, because Ala can just shoot down Mikesh. It's just one pay of 200 life. Doesn't really matter. So Benjamin really needs a lot of blockers. So I think that we will see the end of the game next turn.
If Ala attacks and Ayu is getting in to block, he could attack with Faria.
I think he will attack with Arla last because it's most important resonator right now, because it just kills everything that's in his way for winning this match.
If Arla is on the field on Christian's draw phase, he have 3 attackers but only 2 blockers.
Yeah.
So that's a one-sided game for Christian. But I think also Benjamin couldn't do anything in this game. It's just it looks like just play resonators, judgment, get some souls in hand.
It seems like a really bad matchup for Ayu, especially because already all these so good hate cards in the main board like Foresight and Faria.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Pretty hard to get through all this stuff.
And although I think it's the only bad or the only very bad matchup against Ayu, so that's
the cards that will be used.
I'm interested
really think that what he
tries. Maybe Ayu Sword Strike, I thought.
He already used that one.
He used that, okay.
And so he used the Sword Strike, he used the Final Battle.
What could he use in effective ways of... Okay, no soul. Charlotte's Water Transformation Magic.
Yeah.
That's the promo version. That could be a good play.
Yeah, but still he needs to put another blocker onto the field. And he needs to resolve the Water Transformation Magic. And
that's true.
I think that's also...
On the optimal way, he could banish it from... He could activate it to get, for example, Ala for 4. And then exile it from the grave to get Faria 4/4. So that they lost all abilities just for 4 bears, and that would be a very huge turn for Benjamin if he could survive next turn.
Yeah, that's true. Or maybe he can go for that turn, because I think he has quite a good amount of souls in his hand. But I still think that's not enough to
impressive. Yeah, the flyer.
Kill
he get it on Ala that he lose flying.
Yeah.
And now he tries, or he needs to get on Faria the ability too, so that he could get damage and don't get negated by Faria. Ah, okay.
So he will
He
shoot
sack
down.
Nikesh
Yeah.
to kill Arla. Interesting.
Still, it's 2 lethal attackers on
He
board.
pay
He
one,
has
two,
to do
He
something.
pay 2 for a soul, okay? Or soul
Yeah, so
to
he
get a
will put
blocker
another
out.
blocker onto the field.
That's very good.
So technically, he survives this turn if Christian
Yeah.
has nothing.
Yeah, yeah. But during the games or during the rounds, I think there should be one. If there's an Ala in his hand, he could pay X amount of damage or X amount of life to deal X amount of damage on the resonators. So
yeah.
if he attacks with Abdul and blocks with the cat, he could say, I pay, I think, 600 life or 800 life to deal that much damage to
Yeah.
it, and then get rid of it, and then the attack goes through. So he need at first trying to block with the IU that he can't shoot down.
And
So
Benjamin played another soul.
yeah,
So now has 3 blockers against 2 lethal attackers.
yeah. So
But
that's
still, he's at a really, really bad spot.
yeah. Christian has also 3 or 4 cards in hand he could effectively use with.
Yeah.
So that's the first. It's a Grim, okay. It don't do any much because he can't shoot something on it,
Yeah.
and so it's only a blocker or attacker for next turn. And
Yeah, that's
passes
what
the
you see.
turn.
Passes the
Ah,
turn
okay.
back. Oh,
he only
so
has one
he
card.
has 1 card
So
left. So Christian really has
Yeah.
to do anything.
Yeah. If
Just
Benjamin Tanner can't finish this turn, Christian can say go, and Tanner can't draw a
Yeah,
card,
so
so he
it's
lost.
win. Then I
I
really
think
don't
that's
see a way of Benjamin winning this turn.
Yeah.
Just
that's
will block the 2
impressive.
souls and let.
Yeah.
So he saves his Faria
Yeah.
trigger on himself.
I think it's
for
no
IU,
way to
then
win for Benjamin this
yeah.
round. It would, if it's possible, it would be impressive for Benjamin to win this game.
Yeah, but
Yeah, maybe.
he
Faria
uses water
gets a
transformation
4/4,
magic
so he
onto
lost
Faria,
the
yeah.
ability to prevent life damage. So maybe he has enough with IU to get it out. Maybe he could finish with IU. So 1 soul. The
Oh, I
tiger
think
soul.
that was a misplay. He should have attacked first, because
Yeah.
now Ayu is
The
flying
second.
and can't attack,
Yeah.
in my opinion. So
Third.
yeah, just discarding
Fourth.
all his
Okay,
souls.
30 attack. 3000 attack on it.
Yeah,
The problem is, if he attacks and then gets in Amateur's foresight, he lost.
yeah, that Christian
It's-
didn't use his whole game. Yeah, that's true.
So he pay it. He pay 1 darkness to play this and get 1 resonator from the grave back to hand. So
Yeah.
he could use another soul again. So it's 3500 if he discards it again.
Yeah, which he does.
3/5. So if he could attack effectively on it. So shackles. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So he can't use his toolbox with
Yeah, but
Ultrasim.
that doesn't really matter right now,
That-
in
yeah,
my opinion.
not at
Just
that state of game. There's
he needs to
but
win
it
this turn.
could be useful because he is recovered. So he could, after the damage from IU, he could play any abilities to get some resonators in.
Yeah, so he will attack. With
He
his
has 3 attackers and
cat.
3 blockers, but one of them is just 4/4, and the second Faria is gone, and another counter. So
just some small chunks of damage.
it looks like he has Amateur's foresight in hand because of the. I don't think he'll let IU get.
Yeah, and there it is.
That's was. There
I
was
think
it.
that's just the game. Yeah, and there
Yeah,
is the handshake.
Yeah, the handshake.
So yeah,
we see
pretty solid round from Christian.
Yeah, very good, very good.
Played this really solid.
Yeah, I think
both
it's-
games
Yeah, both
were really
very
one-sided,
good
just
very
nothing.
good played.
Pretty much nothing Benjamin could do.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, so
a very one-sided game.
yeah, so Christian moves
And
2-0.
Yeah, 2-0. So and
Pretty good start for him.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, but
That's
I-
very good.
just already from just seeing the deck list, I don't see a game, a scenario where Benjamin could technically win this
no.
match because there's so much hate
It's
against
showing
Ayu.
the rulers. I thought it would be one-sided because Malefic World Tree.
Yep.
Malefic World Tree is a very good counter answer against Ayu. So with that you can't technically do against Ayu because Ayu tries to finish, and with Malefic World Tree you have that much amount of life and the toolbox if you get damage, and also Amateur's Foresight and Faria. You could play with the color base he played.
So pretty exciting game. First
of
match of the day. Really excited what we will see next. So I think it was a pretty common matchup. Ayu is played a lot here. Ayu, the Malefic Tree, not that much.
It's
we
less
saw a bit of it. But
it was in the last GPs more represented, but I think it could be a good contender. Maybe we see it in later rounds.
So against Ayu, as we saw, it's pretty good.
But also
maybe we can get some match against Pharaoh or something like
the list from Cesaro is very good against Pharaoh. You have some hates against it, and
because obviously Pharaoh is one of the biggest contenders for winning this tournament.
Of course.
Just see so much play right now, and
of course
all the different versions we know. Just the black one, the blue-white one, and the red one also. Not seeing the
not that much, but
play.
More or less.
But pretty excited what we will see on this GP. So I think
maybe some Mikage is a good tech against Yggdrasil, but I think Yggdrasil is going through all these rounds.
We will see. So I think that's it for round two of this Grand Prix, and we'll see you in the next round.